Welcome to Alpine Daily for a Tuesday. I want you to understand the role that acts of service have in helping people understand the message of Christ. So let's begin with Matthew chapter 5. This is Jesus talking. He says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Jesus says that good deeds help people see and glorify God. And when he's talking about seeing our good deeds, he's not talking about what I would call church good deeds. Nobody in the community is going to look around and say, "Wow, God," because you go to church, or even because you usher in church or teach kids church or play the bass on the worship team. Those are all great things, but those aren't the kind of things that get people's attention in the outside world. Galatians chapter 6 takes it one step further. "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers." So he says do good to everybody, Christians first, but not just limited to other Christians. And he tells us not to grow weary because doing good's hard work, but he does promise that we will reap a harvest in time, that it will make a difference. Other Bible verses where this particular phrase is used show us that good deeds are acts of practical compassion to serve other people. For example, some passages talk about generosity, sharing what you have with others who need it. Others talk about hospitality, making your home and your belongings available, or acts of service of different kinds, many different kinds. But one example of that is in Acts chapter 9. It says that in Joppa there was a disciple named Tabitha. In Greek, her name is Dorcas, and she was always doing good and helping the poor. About that time, she became sick and died. When Peter arrived, all the widows stood around him crying and showing him the robes and other clothing that Dorcas had made while she was still with them. So it says specifically she was always doing good and helping the poor. And you can see the impact that she had on these widows whom she had made clothing for. So I want you to understand that service to others goes hand in hand with evangelism. Now, I don't believe that compassionate service is by itself evangelism. People have to understand the good news in order to trust in Jesus. So the message is crucial, and people don't get it just by watching. So that's why we emphasize inviting people to church, and we created a tool like Foundations to help people share the message. But practical compassion is also important. It goes hand in hand with our message. So somebody put it like this: that love is the only soil in which the seeds of truth can grow. And we cultivate that soil with acts of service by demonstrating care and love in practical ways and meeting needs that people feel like they're cared for. For example, my neighbor has to repair a water pipe under her lawn. I'll be there with a shovel. 4 of us share one driveway. I try to do as much snow removal as I can, more than my share. But it's also a matter of graciously receiving it when my neighbors serve me. My point here is that practical compassion is a powerful proof of the truth of the gospel. It helps people trust us, and that's how they know that God values them and cares about them. So take a minute and think and pray about this whole idea of practical compassion and how serving others might be a way to help point people to a relationship with God. God bless you. Have a wonderful day today.